I am reviewing every major TCG grading company in the UK, and you can follow the series by clicking on this playlist. Check out the first video of the series to get the full info of what to expect. Tree Frog Grading, also known as TFG. Well, I kind of made that part up. It proudly states on their website that the UK's first female-owned and operated grading company, which is somewhat disappointing because I was hoping I would get it graded by a mountain chicken. So whilst we're here, we might as well quickly dive into the history. Well, they're based in Worthing, which is all the way down over here, and were originally founded by AJ Hickman, who was a former Royal Marines commando. He went from chucking frags to collecting slabs, and that is where Tree Frog Grading had begun. In 2022, Katie, a customer and a fan, visited the TFG business to drop off some cards. She liked the company, and well, after a while she took charge of the business, and alongside her partner Adrian, they're now continuing to build up this pond. So, the initial impression I got on their website was very positive. The site is well maintained, had clear, concise information, and I wasn't spending time juggling around. I also got to say I love this interactive features that they have throughout the website. And on a side note as well, I do love the color combination. It definitely really stands out on this website. I know it's small little details, but at the end of the day, as a consumer, it definitely entices me more into the business. If in terms of prices, well, I'll pop it up over here, and you're required to submit a total of at least 3 cards. Not bad. So before I submit any of my cards in, I just wanted to quickly drop them an email just to see how quick they were with their responses. In my last video, one of my subscribers also stated it was a good idea for the series to check the company's insurance policy. Brilliant idea, I would definitely say that. So I dropped him an email at 1 AM because I'm a knocked owl. And basically, well, Katie got back to me first thing in the morning. She also gave me her contact number just in case I wanted to discuss the matter with her over on the phone. That's brilliant customer service. It gives people a range of options. Some people like emailing. Some people like to just quickly get some things over on the phone. And I gotta say, at least Katie offered that option. So again, brilliant start to their customer service experience. Now, she explained to me TFG cannot assume any liability until the cards have arrived with them. When they have arrived, they'll be fully covered by the insurance until the cards have delivered back to me. If they did get lost on return, which fortunately enough has never happened to them with any of their customers because they used the Royal Mail tracked and signed services, they covered the full value of the shipment and will make a claim to compensate the loss. Now, I just wanted to clarify a bit further with them. I asked would I be compensated for the graded value of the cards, to which they responded once the cards have been graded and they know the full condition, they would compensate the amount of the graded value if it was lost on the return back to us. That's fantastic because obviously, as we all know on the market, if we got a graded 10 cards, it means the cards are worth a lot more, especially for some people. They might want to grade it and sell it, and obviously collectors at the end of the day would like their cards to be in prestigious condition as possible, and if they did lose out of 10, they would like to be at least compensated for the value of that card. So we're off to a brilliant start, and I ended up submitting a total of 4 cards for TFG. So I submitted these 4 cards for TFG to go ahead and grade for me. We got the Bulbasaur Holo from the 25th anniversary McDonald's collection. You know I had to submit a frog type Pokemon. How could I not? The name was there, the title, everything was screaming for me to do so. I could not help myself. We got the Snorlax from the ETB 151 promo card. Now this comes out with a solid investment return if I did get it as a 10. And obviously it's coming straight from an ETB, so I feel like I got a great chance over here. We got the 2019 Lapras Holo, another one from the McDonald's collection. As you can tell, I love the Golden Arches. I am a BBC, which stands for Big Bellied Collector. And finally, once again, I've chucked in another bait over here. This time round, I'm submitting a Moltres Wizard of the Coast Black Star promo card with the error print on there. It's got the incorrect artist name on there, which is the Tashina Eiko. As we know, bigger graded companies spot this and label it on as an error print. I'm seeing if TFG does the same and spots it and record it on their label. For those of you who watched my last grading series, you will know the results. So we're going to see if TFG can prevail with this. So let's go ahead and break the prices down over here. Well, it would have costed me £40 for me to submit all 4 of my cards, £10 each. However, TFG offers a 10% discount to all new customers, so I had to pay £36 for my cards. There was also a £6 delivery fee that I needed to pay. Now this is actually the delivery fee of me receiving my cards back. I had to pay a separate £4 charge with Royal Mail to send my cards out to TFG. Now I purposely chose Royal Mail because they would compensate me for up to £100 £150 if my cards were lost whilst they were delivering it to Tree Frog Grading. So overall, it costed me £11.50 per card. This information is very transparent throughout the process, and they also have a breakdown over here, a nice little tier list, and giving you a step-by-step guidance as to what you need to do in order to submit the cards to them. And it does say you are responsible for submitting that cards, which I can't say the information is nice and clear, no confusion involved, and I knew the process straight away. I ended up packing my cards on the 2nd of April and I sent it through the Royal Mail. Now, it did arrive to Tree Frog on 5th of April. I received a notification on 8th of April, which was the following working day, to confirm that TCG had received the cards. So I had to patiently once again play that waiting game, and on 28th of April, I got an email stating my cards were being graded and they'll be dispatching my cards very soon. I received my cards back on 5th of May, so the turnaround was a total of a whole full month. I gotta say, not too bad. That is exactly what I was expecting for it to be. Up until this point, I had no idea what my grades were. I know you guys like real-time reaction, so guess what? I've got an unboxing clip and you can see how it came through. So guys, I've got my card submissions back from Tree Frog Grading over here. So this is how it arrived. It just came in with like an outer postage bag as well, but it is quite strong. So I think the cards are going to be definitely protected. And this time round, I'm going to do a bit of a live reaction because I didn't do it last time, and I feel like you might want to see how I feel about seeing this for the first time. Oops. All right, let's see if I can get it on camera. Ooh. Okay, it's come with the top loaders. They did not state whether I'll receive it or not, but there we go. Oh, well, I got 3 of them. I submitted 4 cards. Oh, no, it's me. I'm blind. Sorry. 4 top loaders back. Well done, Tree Frog Grading. And some cheeky little QR codes over there as well for their websites. So we can use that. Okay. Here we go. Should be... Yeah, we'll definitely keep it this way around. Oops. Okay. Ooh, here we go. Right, let's just do a flip over. Whoa. Moltres. Okay, we got an 8 on the Moltres. And it's got the error. Well done, Tree Frog Grading. I'm actually impressed, guys. This is absolutely fantastic work by them so far. They've done an incredible job throughout this, and it's lovely and holographic over there. Sorry about that. I'm just keeping an eye on the recording as well. Obviously, I will definitely discuss this a lot more on the review. But there we go. We've got that as an 8 as well. That's not too bad. Right, 3, 2, 1. Bulbasaur's got a 9. I would have been great as a 10, but we got as a 9. The McDonald's collection over there, 25th anniversary. Right, brilliant overall. 9.5 and 9.5 on the surfaces and edges over there. So, that was a decent overall score for Bulbasaur. Right, let's see what's next. The Lapras McDonald's 2019 collection for an 8 grade overall. So over there. Okay, not too bad. And okay, here we go. Snorlax. Let's do this. 9. I was hoping for that 10. Okay, we got a 9 for the 151s. They're all like Scarlet and Violet promo, so not too bad. Okay, we come out with like 9s and 8s basically, but there we go, guys. Let me know what you think of that. So, like, I gotta say, it's quite impressive, but yeah, you know what? Let's get back to the review. So now that I've received my cards back, we can actually talk about the overall service score. Well, in terms of the services, I'm going to give them a full 10 out of 10 to get the top mark over here. Yeah, fantastic. I got to say, look, I've got the email option and I've also got their mobile number. That's 2 great ways for me to contact them. The website was absolutely fantastic. I like the step-by-step guidance as well throughout the process. And it's easy enough for me to also like just check out if they have any like discount codes available. I feel like all this, it goes definitely towards their strength area. It's not just me as well. I wanted to quickly touch upon their Trustpilot page. I know this is for the overall the business, but at the end of the day, other people have overall in total given a 4.9 out of 5. That's a very strong score on Trustpilot with over 200 reviews. There is one thing I do want to touch upon, but I just didn't want to like impact their grade overall because some people like the element of surprise, but this day and age, if there's any chinks in the armor, people will quickly lash out and dig into it. So what I want to say is I would believe that a good option for them is in advance, when the cards are coming back to the customers, to say here's the serial number of each one of your cards, and they can have the option to check out what grade they received on their database. The reason why I believe this is important is because if the cards were lost during the process, the customer has no idea if they got a 10, a 9, or 8, or 7, etc. They would basically be fully reliant on the information that you provide them is going to be the correct serial numbers of their cards and the correct information overall. Now, speaking with Katie, I truly doubt that they'll try to swindle their customers by lowering the grades on purpose so they pay a less compensation value. At the end of the day, they have mentioned that they were insured as well, and I believe that's just for a standard Royal Mail insurance, etc. But it's worth pointing it out because a lot of people might end up throwing some sort of accusations out over there, and for a company, it's better to be proactive in a situation like this rather than reactive. But anyway, that covers their services. Let's go ahead and touch upon their slabs. Next up, we need to focus on the slab quality. So the slabs themselves have the same design and thickness as the PSA slabs. Ace grading slabs are just so much more thicker, but again, I'm not going to knock off any points. Everyone has a preference. Some people like Pika Thin, other people like Pika Chunk. But touching upon PSA, it's literally the same design in comparison to the actual coating itself. Like, it's not a clear slab, it's all got this frosted glass effect. And there were no actual major damages or dents on any of these slabs. However, there was one thing. Every single one of these slabs had this one small white line on the right hand side of the sleeves in the exact same location. It's very weird. I've never seen anything like this beforehand. I'm unsure how it's come to be. It could have happened during the process and the assembly of the slabs. It could have happened whilst the cards were being delivered to me. I even may have somehow miraculously caused it, although I heavily doubt it. I don't know how I would have done that with such precision, but it's worth me noting. The other thing I do want to touch upon is the actual font writing itself on the label. It's very small, it doesn't stand out, and I feel like they could have utilized the space on the back of the label in much more efficient manner, and I'm actually going to touch that in much more detail on the next topic. Another personal note that I want to touch upon is the actual old TFG's label designs. I have to say these new designs that they put in on my cards are just much more better. I've seen the old ones. They are definitely improving. I like this a lot more. However, one thing that I would say is confusing is the fact that they have two 10s categories. Yeah, that's right. You can get your cards graded at a 10 Alpha or a 10 Bravo. Now, see what they did there. That's a little touch to the owner's former career, and I'm glad they stopped at 2 and we've not got a 10 Charlie or a 10 Delta. But yeah, I'm still not a fan of having two separate categories for 10s, and I can see why they might want to operate it in that way, because obviously it's like their little unique thing. But ultimately, to the wider audience, I believe it causes somewhat of a confusion. Some of these people may want to basically get this relabeled in the future. We do not know how long TFG will last, but there are other well-reputable standard companies that have obviously tested the stand of time, and some people may fancy getting a bit of an upgrade in the future. And they will be disappointed when they found out that the 10 Bravo ended up being a 9 overall. So it's just one of those things. I personally am not a fan of it, but I'm happy to hear your guys' thoughts on the comment section below. Anyway, I'm going to give the slabs an overall score 8 out of 10. And now it's time to touch upon the confidence rating. Finally, let's go ahead and touch upon the confidence rating. Now, on the back of each one of your slabs, you'll find 2 QR codes. If you give the scan on the one on the right hand side, you'll basically get a breakdown of all your card grades and confirms that it's authentic on their website. They also have this cool little hyperlink that you can check out other people who graded the exact same cards as you and see how they did. It's a neat little pastime as well, and I guess it adds a bit of fun and creativity on their website as well. The other thing as well is the QR code on the left hand side. Well, to put it politely, it's freaking confusing. All it does, and literally it does this on every single one of the slabs that I have, it brings up a calculation number on my calculator app. There's also an option for me to open this QR code on a search engine, and when I do so, literally exactly the same thing. It opens up the calculator app on the search engine with the exact same numbers. That is it. What the hell is the point of this QR code? I have no freaking clue whatsoever. Is this Hickman sending out a distress signal with some GPS coordinates? Who knows? But this QR code is absolutely freaking irrelevant, and quite frankly, it shouldn't be on in the first place. This space could have been utilized to place the actual serial number of the card and give you more room to work on the front label design instead. Honestly, TFG, if you're watching this, you just need to get rid of it, because one QR code is enough. I have no idea what this left hand side is meant to be for, and I'm quite confident that a lot of people would have been puzzled just like I was. Finally, guys, they have no embossed logos on the bottom of each one of these slabs. You'll see another big major graded companies like PSA and Beckett. There's even UK graded companies that do this, like Ace Grading and Get Graded. However, you won't find it on a TFG slab. Now, that is maybe a cost-cutting measure. At the end of the day, it does cost more money in order to put this onto the slab. However, one thing that they do have on their labels is holographic prints, which is actually helpful. The reason being is fraudsters will need to create this as a duplicate and need to match the holographic print, which requires them to order holographic paper in bulk with the same design on it, which basically means more money on a potential scam that may not work for them. It's that whole risk and reward aspect. The more money that they have to spend replicating it, it may scare them off, as they may feel like it might backfire and they'll lose out on their investment, or rather I should say their fraudulent investment. Now, with that being said, the QR code, the customer service support, having the option to enter your actual serial number of your card on their website, I'm going to give the confidence rating a solid 9 out of 10. If anything, it's more TFG shooting themselves on the foot with having that left hand side QR code, because some people may go ahead and scan that firstly before the right hand side thing and feel like they've got a fake card on their market, and they'll be foaming through their mouth going, what the hell have I received over here, just because they did not scan the other QR code. I think TFG just needs to improve on this. It's a short thing to ask, but if they did this, it may avoid drama in the future. Anyway, let's go ahead and summarize this. So, Tree Frog Grading, you're getting a Hustlémon graded score of 9 out of 10. Honestly, that is fantastic considering the size of the company itself, consider their reputation. There's obviously a lot more bigger fishes out over there, but rather I should say there are bigger frogs in this vast sea of graded companies that we have. But yeah, I've got to say I'm absolutely impressed. They've definitely blew me out of the water. Yeah, I'm going to stop making any like sea, ocean or frog related puns now over here. But all due seriousness, before I even got the series started, even before I even started my YouTube channel, as you guys know and I discussed before, I love collecting graded cards, and there were companies that I'm definitely going to review later on down the series that I've already, let's just say, used quite a few times, and I've got a good rapport buildings, and like I basically know how they operate and how I personally already will feel about them, although the series will be a clean slate, I will state that. But this is the situation, because I have heard of these companies, I've explored them, and they've definitely got a bit more reputation out there in the wider community. Tree Frog Grading sat in that area where I heard it through like the grapevine tree, but I was never really going to dabble into it because I just felt like my money and my energy was spent elsewhere, because I know other people already recognize these brands, and I've just felt like, you know what, it's just going to be one of those things that I might as well stick to good old reliable companies that I already have good establishment with. I'm glad I've done this. I'm glad I've done this series, because this is one of them situations where a small company can prevail and showcase that they are definitely over here that are ready to compete with some of the bigger names out over there and actually hold ground as well. Tree Frog Grading has definitely been really impressive, and I really do wish them all the best in the future. Personally, just a little thing about myself, and hopefully some people might see eye to eye with where I'm coming from. Ever since I operated my own e-commerce business, I tend to, when I go out shopping, if there's like a niche particular business, I always tend to buy stuff from them in comparison to going out there from a bigger company. If I know I can get in a bigger shopping center area, I'd rather get it from the smaller local business, and I believe in supporting local businesses a lot more. If you're based in Worthing or anywhere down south near that area, give them a try. Hopefully this review would convince you guys to at least give it a shot, because I think you guys are not going to be left disappointed. And maybe some of you guys have already used TFG, and maybe you guys are just over here like exploring the option for yourself. But personally, I will be happy to use them again in the future as well. So yeah, wish them all the best, and hopefully this review has helped. Right, now next thing I need to touch upon, because the review is done, I am going to have a bit of a long ass outro over here. So this is the situation that I really want to touch upon about a current thing that I want to do on my channel. So in my last video, if you guys are aware, I did my first ever giveaway, and I want to continue on doing that in the future throughout my channel. Now here's the situation, guys. My channel is so, I wouldn't say scattered, but you can definitely say there's a lot of jack of all trades situations going on when it comes to the world of Pokemon TCG. I have passion for collecting, investing, going out to TCG shopping. Obviously, I've got my binder investment series vid as well, and now I'm doing this on top of that. My audience like to obviously follow a one particular set of series. Like some people might prefer these graded reviews, other people might like the way that I go out to, you know, HMV or Mankind, etc. on my hunts. Well, I call it hunts. Pokemon hunting seems a bit odd to call it, but yeah, you get the point. And then obviously some people like my investment binders. Everyone's got their own little thing on my channel, and then there are some of you that are hardcore Hustlémon. That sounds dodgy, but yeah, you guys are obviously here throughout all of it. Like you basically watch every single one of these videos, and I really do appreciate this support from the bottom of my heart. Now I do want to do a giveaway, and I am going to do one at some point this month, in the month of June. However, I feel like what's best is I do it on another video where it gives other people who like the opportunities of watching different type of content to have a chance to participate in these giveaways. Because if I keep doing it over on this series, then I feel like it leaves out my other audiences, and I hope you can see where I'm coming from. It just gives that option for other people to maybe get a chance to win. And yes, I am going to be still focusing on UK based audiences, or sorry, my UK based fan group over here, because I would love to ship out internationally, and I do have a strong United States fan base, but I can't spend that much at the moment. I'm too small, guys. I'm not even on 1,000 subscribers yet, but I'm trying to do this because I like building a little community around over here. But whilst I'm still at this level on YouTubing, I would like to obviously keep it local and to the UK region. Maybe one day we'll go international, you never know. But for now, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. The other thing is as well, and I think this is really important, and this is particularly directed to you, Leia, if you're watching this over here. Firstly, congratulations on winning the first ever giveaway. Now, in the future, I'm going to do an every giveaway. The next, because obviously I'm doing the spin the wheel because I think it's fair. It gives everyone the opportunity. If you won the last competition, you cannot enter the next one, but you're allowed to enter the following one. So I'm gonna like put like a little shadow ban for one competition. That way it gives other people a chance of winning, because you never know with the spinner wheel, it might land on your name over and over and over again, and then some people out there going like, something doesn't seem right over here. So just to avoid all that, this is why I feel like it's best just to have like a one like turn shadow ban. You're still welcome to comment, obviously, of course. Like any question I put out there in the competition, even if you won last time, I still would love you guys to comment, because it's just one of those things. But I'm sure you can see where I'm coming from. It just gives other people the opportunity to win. So you shadow ban for one time, but then next time you can enter the competition, and that way I'm being fair and transparent, and I think it gives everyone an equal opportunity to compete over here. Yeah, that's me all done and dusted. Thank you once again for watching. Cheers for all the love and support. We're coming close to 1 year of YouTubing. Could you believe that? And if you want to show some support to this channel, then all I do and ask is basically hit that like button. So thank you for anyone who shows that love and support. Subscribe if you're new over here. If you just want to check out this particular series, there's a playlist dedicated as well on my channel, so you can just focus on TCG grading reviews. Anyway, we'll be back next time with another company, and yeah, until then, look after yourselves, and I'll see you all on the next video. Take care.